Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this FB4 Daily for Tuesday, the 23rd of July. On my own tonight, so you can be as random as you like. LFC, football in general, random stuff. We were on Kansas Lilt, I think, the other night. So yeah, whatever way you want this to go for the next half an hour or so, you make it happen. You go ahead. Tonight's show was brought to you by Entire Design. Jimmy is the main man there. Jimmy's prize was given away to Barry Carr last week, and Barry was over the moon with his prize. Really good stuff from Jimmy. Get on to @Entire_Design on Twitter or Entire Design on Instagram, and you'll see all his work there. It's top of the range. Yeah, where are we going to go tonight? Yossi is in, Chris is in. How are you, boys? Hope you are all well. Chris says, interesting comments from Klopp concerning transfers. Yeah, this is the Ian Doyle interview. Is that right? I think it's a two-part interview. But Ian Doyle basically breaks it down, saying that basically the comments from Klopp were something along the lines that you're going to have to tell me what the quotes were. I seen little snippets of it just before I came on, but basically Ian Doyle reckons it will be a young left back cover is what we're looking for between now and the time the transfer window closes. I'm not knocking Ian Doyle and reporting. I don't think it was as straightforward as that. Was it as straightforward as that? You tell me. I'm not too sure, but yeah, we'll definitely have a look and see what's there. Chris Bascom actually said there's no way Pepe will be coming to Liverpool. Who reported? Where did this Pepe stuff come from? I've titled this show All This Pepe Talk. What happened today? I've been off the grid a little bit, but it just seemed to explode early on in the day about Pepe, and there Chris Bascom saying we would sign a starting 11 player. It's hard to believe though. So Chris Bascom is saying there's no way it's Pepe, but it is a starting 11 player. It's just a bit strange, to be perfectly honest with you. But can anyone tell me, is this where this started? Chris Bascom saying we'd sign a starting 11 player. People put two and two together and got Pepe. Is that what happened? Let me know. Because as I said, I was off the grid a little bit today. I was doing a bit of work with regards to the show. Being honest with you, I was booking flights to Liverpool for the first game of the season, so I was a little bit busy. And on top of that, I bought my daughter walkie-talkies, and it's the worst thing I have ever done. Great laugh, but she can literally get me from 6 kilometers away now, and it's a bit much. 2 days until Bruno Fernandes to Liverpool. Oh, this is this guy, Avi Hanser. You were on about a week ago, 10 days ago. You were letting us know you came out with this, and you were fairly convinced and adamant with regards to this. Do you want to give me any context on that? Do you want to go a little bit further than that? By all means, I'm not going to knock you. I'm not going to knock you down. Opinions are opinions. Barry Carr says Chris has clearly been pressured to retract. So basically, Chris Bascom said we'd be signing a starting 11 player, and then goes and says we will no chance. You've no chance that this player is Pepe. Am I on the right kind of lines here? Am I on the right kind of lines? Avi Hansen says yes, that's me. Do you want to give? Is that just your opinion, or do you feel you know more about this? As I said, comment away there. I'm not going to knock anyone's opinion or what they think is best, or what I'm not going to tell you I know any more than you, because I can tell you I actually don't. Avi Hunter says I know his reps dealt with them in America. Only news they gave me. Well, look, that's as solid as anything I've seen. I'm not saying it's over solid, but I'm saying it's a lot of people say things along them lines, and they're taken quite seriously. You're saying you can't say any more. You're saying that Fernandes to Liverpool will be done once the friendly is over. Listen, I'm going to take you at completely face value. I am going to tell you though, you're a brave man putting that in here if something does not happen, because you know the way Twitter and social media and the likes work. Trevor Villa says batter burger or batter sausage all day long, my friend. I'd like to know. I'd like to know what people think of that. But the battered sausage all day. I like these random stuff that just gets dropped in. Him Frank says Avi is a spoofer. Listen, he's saying what he believes, and that's I've no issue with that. I do know that Paddy Powers have Manchester United at 4-11 favourites to sign Pepe. I think we're 4-1. There's an awful lot of money. There's an awful lot of money gone on them today, apparently, on United to sign him. Joyce said nothing. Reddy said nothing. Why does Bascom take the lead? He bit instantly when Reds were taking his words as gospel. He bit in what way? Did he kind of hit back and kind of get around the situation? I don't know. Force asked, where's the lilt? Very, 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 very good question. Where is the lilt? I went to get lilt, forgot to get lilt, went back out to get lilt, could not find lilt in two of the closest shops to me. It's an absolute disgrace. Lilt needs to make a comeback. The totally tropical taste and all that. I will be going on the hunt for lilt tomorrow, and if I can, I will have lilt. Glenn says I've a spare for Norwich if you're stuck. I'm not stuck. But Glenn, if you want to send me a direct message on the LFC Day Trippers, if you want to message us, if you do have a ticket, I know one or two lads that are stuck. I'm not stuck personally. I got a call the other day and I was asked if I want a ticket. I said yes, I've booked it. The money to go over is a bit mad, but I decided to go for it. I'm over there from the Thursday morning till the Saturday evening. If anyone's around and fancies a drink, I like a drink. We'll sit down, we talk football, and I'm hoping to do a couple of shows from Liverpool like this. And if I have people in a room with me, I will look. You can sit down in a pub with me, and you can have a drink, and we'll do this show together. Absolutely, no problem. I can't say no more. Happy to take the abuse if it doesn't happen. I very rarely comment, says Abby Hansford. Absolutely, that as well. We're in your rights to say that, and people will on here and on social media tell you that, you know, if they call your names, it's out of order. If they don't believe you, that's fine. If they do believe you, that's absolutely fine. Lilt is only available in bottles. There's no cans around. Are you serious, John? You can't be serious. That's atrocious. Yossi is in Liverpool from Thursday. Yossi, look me up, my man. Bring that guitar, and we'll have a brilliant time. Absolutely brilliant time. What are we doing? Is that in relation to lilt or is it in relation to football? What are we doing? Absolutely, I'm not too sure. I don't think anyone's sure. People are making a fair point there. You know, Reddy is quiet, and you know, Joyce is quiet, and the likes of Pierce is extremely quiet. What are we doing? It's a very, very good question. I don't know. Yossi says, thinking of going to this Hotel Tia before the match. You need tickets in advance. I don't think you will. The only way you would need tickets for Hotel Tia is if Jamie Webster's playing. If Jamie Webster's playing, they do hold a ticket thing. But if you get on to Hotel Tia, they might have a Twitter or a website, you will see the details there. And I don't even think they charge for the tickets. I just think it's a case of being ticketed because of the amount of people that would like to be in there. It's a brilliant spot before and after the game. Absolutely brilliant spot. Four says, talking of lost drinks, what happened to Holston Pills? You don't see anymore. I've seen it last week. It's still in off licenses. All LFC journals won't be given any info after the Van Dijk debacle, says Liverpool Chris. Not a bad point. Liverpool are badly burnt. Kieran Smith says he thinks we sign one. I'm with you. I'm actually easing towards two. Who does Grizz think the signing will be? I spoke to Grizz today, and to be honest with you, he's not sure either. He has a feeling on Pepe, but you know, he was quite adamant that we were in talks with Coutinho, but that's gone very quiet. Gav, who is this Maxi on Twitter, and where has he gone? Was never far away with info. Oh yes, he's still around. I know you're speaking of. He's still around. Mick asked, what's the FPL code? Is this for the fancy football? If you go on to our Twitter and scroll down, you will find it. I'll try find it here before I go, and I'll type it onto the screen here, and I will get it up for you. Strangest move of the window, says Kev. Vincent Janssen leaving Spurs for a Mexican club. Was he still with Spurs? Jesus, I didn't know he was with Spurs. He was very poor. He's a poor player. He's not great. It is a strange one, though, Mexican club. It won't be good if Bruno and Pepe both end up at United. The money is on United at the moment for Pepe. I don't know what the money is for Bruno Fernandes. I think he's still maybe favoured to go to United. But you see, United are being made favourites for everyone because the bookies probably have to cover themselves. United are looking to spend money. Harry Wilson thing is still going on as well. Luke drank Holston during the Dortmund game. Good man. Oh yeah, the match the other night. Yeah, good man. I like to see people having a few beers while they're watching the match. John says, I think 0 signings. We are saving our money for the big one next summer. A lot of people think that. This is where the Jadon Sancho thing came from the other day, hoping to do a deal now for next summer and put it in place. And it's, it kind of goes on next year's money, if you know what I'm saying. Not Red says every Premier League successful team bought at start of season need depth, or January could be a problem. Yeah, I understand that, but people are going to make the argument that we are kind of strengthening with the players we have coming back that were out for us last season. But I do think left back we are not as strong at. Despite having the best left back in Europe, I think we do need cover there. Someone says, I love you, Gavnold, I think it was. Fair play to you. Your name's gone off the screen. Well, I would not look at the odds. Remember, Bruno went from 1 to 5 to join us on the 24th of June. He was 1 to 9 on, or 9 to 1 on, sorry. So, yeah, the odds can fluctuate, and especially in a market where United are looking to possibly, do big business. The bookies don't want to be caught napping where a load of money goes on, and they end up having to give a lot out. But if they're kind of covering themselves, so it's just one of those. I spoke to Grizz today. He seemed to be leaning towards a deal for Sancho, either for this window or as a Keita style deal. This, Grizz is onto this one. Barry Carr says my comments aren't showing. They are, but I'm reading them out. You need to open your eyes, bud. Just open them and you can see loads in 3D. Arsenal are getting desperate to sign Zaha. If there's anyone you'd pinch from a rival, realistic. A realistic pinching from a rival. I always said Son. I just thought go big on Son. But Spurs seem to be clearing the decks a little bit. And they might be clearing it for a certain reason. But Son would be one I would be absolutely all over. You're not going to get anyone out of United. Chelsea aren't really probably going to sell because they have to keep hold of their players. Can you see us maybe losing one of Mane or Salah next season? Hence why we might try to spend big in 2020. No, I think Matt made a good point the other night. These players will live whether we're buying big or not. If they want to go, they want to go. Like if they get like Coutinho with his dream move to Spain and stuff like that, that'll happen anyway. I'd like to think that if we were in for Mbappe or Jadon Sancho or someone like that, that we'd be saying, no, look, this is their squad, we're brilliant, and let's bring another one in. Andrew Collins said, I'd love Eriksen. He's not a bad show, and the only reason for that is I think it'd be decent money. I think you could pay him wages, no problem. I don't think he's on a massive amount at Spurs. He's one of those players that can play in the midfield and play just behind the front three and stuff like that. He's a really, really good player, let's be honest about it. Premier League proven, and I think he'd actually be better for us than he would be for Spurs, believe it or not. I seen Grizz kissing Ian in the boozer. Pass it on. Did you? Fair enough. What boozer was it? Let me know. Save every penny for Mbappe next year. Yes, absolutely. I don't know about saving every penny. The big thing about this was Nike, wasn't it? It was about Nike, and if Nike come in, do they come in and say, right, we'll put X amount of money up and towards an Mbappe transfer because he's their big poster boy at the minute. Let me see. The Tom Bernard interview was decent today, says Mick. Mick, I didn't see it. As I said, I was off doing other things with regards to this podcast and travel arrangements and different things like that. So let me know what Tom Werner said or what decent bits came out of it. Barry Carr says, why are we light? And is there anyone in the Premier League that could fix that? Don't say Bertrand. I put Bertrand forward. I'm being honest with you. I did. I put Bertrand forward because of the stage of career he's at, the club he's at, the prospect of moving to a better side for better money, but not having to be, but basically being compensated with money for not being the number one left back at the club. I don't think it'll happen, but I did put him forward. I would take Bertrand. Mick agrees. I think he'd be a decent sign. Danny Rose was another one that came up, but Danny Rose, it's more his mind that's the problem, and if he is having, problems, outside of football, you'd have to wish him all the best. Sancho and Maddison will be great signings next year. I don't see the thing with Maddison. Darren, is it? Yeah. I don't see the thing with Maddison. I really don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I find Leicester probably the one team I would take a massive interest in this season because of the signings they've made, Brendan Rodgers, different things like that. So I'll probably see a little bit more of him this season, and I'll probably be able to give you a more kind of structured view on him. But from what I've seen, a bit hit and miss. If you're arrested and your family found out, what would they assume you'd done? Drunk and disorderly. But I'm not really a disorderly fellow when I'm drunk. I'm very, very happy when I'm drunk. So it'd be something stupid like jumping on the front of a police car for the laugh, and getting locked up for something like that. Bertrand is the exact same concept as Shaq, good player and last chance at a big club. Yeah, there's a good point to that. Although I think he's proven as a left back, properly proven. Over the years, whereas Shaq was kind of in and out. One lad's asked, any update on Pepe? I came on here looking for the update, I'm being honest with you. I really did, because it kind of all went a bit mad, and then I have messages about Pepe and what do you think of this and what do you think of that. And listen, we'll have to just wait and see, and tomorrow's another day on the Pepe thing. But I did see the Lille president, and somebody commented here earlier saying that the Lille president has said that the transfer of Pepe is nearly done, which is interesting. If it is nearly done, could we be in for him? Absolutely. But the United link is probably real as well, so you have to go and wait and see. If it's up around 80 million, I don't think we'd be in. I don't think we're going to splash that money on him. I think it was around the 50, 60-ish. I think it might be something we do. But 80 million is an awful lot of money for a guy that you're bringing in and hoping to push our front three. Kevin Sullivan there again saying Lille president saying the deal is nearly done. Was that the only quote from him? Was there anything else? James Kelly says we could do it a performance versus Sporting. I realise it's only for fitness, but we've been poor enough over pre-season, not pushed on the result, but performance needs to be. Yeah, that's a fair point. I think it is for fitness. I genuinely do. I think it's for fitness. But I know what you're coming from because, people have gone on about Brewster this pre-season and he's been really good. But I felt sorry for him a bit against Dortmund and against Sevilla. He didn't really get the service. There was a lot of times where we got the ball in these half spaces, as they call them. We weren't inside and we weren't out wide. These half spaces, and we're trying to sling balls across the box. That's not us. We probably look for an extra pass there to get someone in more advanced position and get it more across goal than a kind of a diagonal towards the box. So I felt a bit sorry. I felt a bit sorry for the likes of Brewster. So I know where you're coming from on that. I'd like to see it as well. I'd like to see our passing to be a little bit sharper, most definitely. I would like to see our interplay around the box a little bit better as well. So yeah, I know where you're coming from on that. So that's Thursday night, isn't it? Yeah, Thursday night. So we watch that live if you want to come on. We're on. It'll be only on YouTube. So you need to go onto YouTube, type in LFC Day Troopers, find our page, hit subscribe, and hit the little notifications tab, and away we go. And we watch it. We have a beer while we're watching it. We have a bit of food while we're watching it. We have a laugh. We do a bit of commentary. We talk about anything that comes up on the screen. It's a really, really good one. It's really good. Ziyech release clause is 25 million. Why no interest? That's probably the strangest one for me. Maybe there is a release clause, and maybe teams are a little unsure about him. That's the only way I can think about it. Or maybe they've done, maybe we've done something, maybe teams have looked into him a bit deeper and thought there's something there that might match the Premier League in particular. Which member of Arsenal TV would you like to punch? None of them. I don't really watch them. I do watch them sometimes after Arsenal get beaten, because it does be fucking hilarious. Let's be honest about it. They absolutely rip each other apart. But there is one guy on there, and I think Mark Goldbridge is schooling him on a daily basis. He's extremely annoying. I can't remember his name. Is it DT? Might be his name. He's extremely annoying, and comes across as the sort of guy that feels he's better than you. You know, and better than all of Arsenal fans. You know, I think his name is DT. Don't hate him. He irritates me a little bit, but Mark Goldbridge is looking after him. He's schooling him day in, day out. Fan blood. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. There's another guy in it that wears headphones all the time, and I do feel a bit sorry for him. He tries to give an opinion, and he gets absolutely lashed over for it. Anything else? Is the Sporting Lisbon game a must-win game for Klopp? Thank God you put LOL at the end of that. Look, I'm very patient with Liverpool. You'd have to be. And looking at this, the Dortmund game in particular was definitely about fitness. He pushed them to the limit. The Sevilla game, I think Liverpool were a bit shocked at how kind of aggressive they were. They were out of order. We've seen that tackle from that guy. But it was still all about fitness. He's bedding them in. But we could be a little bit better in our play. We could be a little bit sharper. But as somebody said earlier there, that they own 2 training sessions the day of the games. You know? So you have to, like, I'll put it this way. If I ask you to go out and work, do a shift, and then do another shift, and then go out and do a third shift, you know, it's hard. I think they are training games in front of crowds, being honest with you, and that's why Liverpool were a bit upset with Sevilla and the way they carried on the other night. But there's little bits and pieces I'd like to see from Sporting Lisbon. We'll probably get into it tomorrow and Thursday before we watch the game live. But there is little bits I'd like to see, absolutely, and I'll have a little think about it for the next day or two and see where we go from there. Klopp wanted Fecker, didn't get him. Surely he still wants that type of player. Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think he was definitely in from. We know what type of player he is, but I think he's seeing Fecker as somebody that can play all across that front three. And I think if we do something, it would be a similar player. You know, a lot of people see Fecker as just this 10 and a creator. He is that, but he can play off both sides and even play a false 9. So, he could go for something. He will, in my opinion, he goes for something up front. Probably not mad similar to Fecker, but somebody that can play all across the front. What is your opinion on Mark Goldbridge? I know I shouldn't, but I love the guy, says Force. I think he's a genius. I think Mark Goldbridge is an absolute genius. He started all this stuff, you know, coming on doing live stuff, and people have lashed out at him for it. United fans included. Told him he's not a United fan. He takes it all in his stride. He's a genius. It's as simple as that. He does what he does, and he is he's like, the good thing about him is he does what he does despite what people think or say about him. He's really, really, really good at what he does. If you actually listen to the way he speaks about football, although it can be quite high pitched and aggressive, and he can be, you know, in despair at times, he actually speaks a good game. So the other fellow in United stand might as well be Celtic, and Jose is building his Interside at United compilation videos. Oh yeah, I seen that last week. That was cool. Yeah, I like that. Forget the money. I'll try and get Bale. Worry about the money after. Too injury prone for me. Since 2016-17, he's missed 8 calendar months of football, not including his time off in the summer. Kev. So not for me. He's basically said he's on $500,000 a week, and he'll play golf if no one can pay him that, and Real Madrid don't want to play him. If Klopp did leave in 2022, would you choose Linders over Gerrard? Absolutely, all day long, Darren. Steven Gerrard, amazing footballer for Liverpool. Like, you know, out of this world. Probably he's up there in the top 3 Liverpool players of all time. But managerial wise, still very young, still very raw. I think Linders knows more about this club in the way we play. I think he knows more about the setup. I think he's tactically more intelligent than Steven Gerrard. So, but having said that, 3 years down the road, you don't know what way things would go. But for me, I look at Gerrard at Rangers. He's done a good job. He should be finishing first or second, and he is. He bites a little bit at the media, and I think if he'd done that as a Liverpool manager, the media in England will be all over him, a bit like they did with Rafa Benitez, and we're all over him. So for me, yes, it will be Linders over Gerrard right now, and possibly in 3 years' time. I think Gerrard needs to probably get away from Rangers, and give himself more of a challenge on a week-to-week basis, football-wise, to be considered for the Liverpool job in 3 years' time. That's just my take on it. I do not dislike Steven Gerrard. I admire the man as a footballer, as everything he's done. He does charity work, he does everything. But I think he's a long way to go to be considered to be at the level or anywhere close to Jurgen Klopp and what would be required at Liverpool. Bale has more appearances, goals, European Cups than Zidane. Literally a more important player in Real's history. Possibly, yeah, when you look at it like that, but that wouldn't really bother me once it doesn't really matter once he goes on the pitch, the kind of way, and the situation he's in now. Zidane was a bit stupid in what he done with his contract over the playing time and saying he was nearly on the way out and stuff like that. A little bit silly from Zidane, and as Shawnee from the Trippers pointed out to me, he's cost Real Madrid a lot of money with that by doing something along them lines, because people now know we're really waiting to get rid of him. That's the way it comes across. 27 minutes in, we're going to go now any minute. Any random stuff, I'll take random stuff for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Met Linders, nice guy, says Not Red. Yeah, he seems, on the video of him and Klopp the other day, he certainly came across very well. Gerrard to Wolves after Nuno leaves. Yeah, he needs a challenge. Scotland is not a challenge. It is a challenge Celtic-wise, but most of the other weeks it's not. So, Top Gun trailer, haven't seen it. Haven't even seen the original Top Gun. So, that's one of my weak points as films. For what Grizz and Matt laugh at me on a continuous basis about. But look, I'm going to leave it there. It's been really good speaking to you. Great comments. It's great to see us all again on there tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night. The show should be about 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night, Wednesday. We'll be back at 10 p.m. on. We'll be back at 10 p.m. Wednesday. We'll be back at 10 p.m. on Thursday, and we do a little half an hour. We'll take a break for half an hour, and we will come back then for the match. I think it's 11 o'clock kickoff. I could be wrong. That's in my head. But it's been great. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. And yeah, listen, I'm going to Liverpool for the Norwich game. If anyone is, send me a private message on at LFC Day Trippers, and if we can meet up and do a show together and have a chat and have a beer, listen, I'm all for it. Absolutely. Would you rather have nipples for Tums or Tums for nipples? Last question, Luke. Thank you. Nipples for Tums or Tums for nipples? Tums for nipples. I need my hands. I like using my hands. Yeah, Tums for nipples. We're gone. We're good. We're gone. Definitely over now. Bye bye. Over now.